Urethra. The urethra is a tube that carries urine from the bladder to outside of the body. In males, it has the additional function of ejaculating semen when the man reaches orgasm. The penis. Semen, which contains sperm reproductive cells, is expelled through the end of the penis when the man reaches sexual climax. When the penis is erect, the flow of urine is blocked from the urethra, allowing only semen to be ejaculated at the orgasm. Epididymis. The epididymis is a long coiled tube that rests on the backside of each testicle. It transports and stores sperm cells that are produced in the testes. The testes are responsible for making testosterone, the primary male sex hormone, and for generating sperm. Scrotum. This is a loose pouch-like sac of skin that hangs behind and below the penis. It contains the testicles, also called testes, as well as many nerves and blood vessels. The scrotum acts as a climate control system for the testes. Bulbourethral gland. These glands produce a clear, slippery fluid that empties directly into the urethra. This fluid serves to lubricate the urethra and to neutralize any acidity that may be present due to residual drops of urine in the urethra. Prostate gland. The prostate gland contributes additional fluid to the ejaculate. Prostate fluids also help to nourish sperm. Seminal vesicles are sac-like pouches that attach to the vas deferens near the base of the bladder. The seminal vesicles produce a sugar-rich fluid that provides sperm with a source of energy to help them move. And finally, the vas deferens is a long muscular tube that travels from the epididymis into the pelvic cavity to just behind the bladder. The vas deferens transports mature sperm to the urethra.
The hypothalamus and the pituitary gland are located in the brain and produces testosterone. Also, the testes, Sertoli cell, and the Leydig cell. Sertoli cells support sperm during their development. They also produce testosterone. The production of testosterone by the testes is controlled by the pituitary gland at the base of the brain. Testosterone causes beard and body hair growth, promotes the growth of the prostate gland, contributes to male sexuality, and causes bone and muscle growth. Testosterone stimulates cells in the testes to produce sperm.
Gonadotropin-releasing hormone is a tropic hormone produced by a part of the brain called the hypothalamus. It causes the release of two other hormones of the male reproductive system. Follicle-stimulating hormone, produced in a part of the brain called the anterior pituitary. Follicle-stimulating hormone proves active in both male and female reproductive systems. Luteinizing hormone, LH, causes the interstitial cells of the testes to produce the hormone testosterone. This hormone produces and maintains the secondary sexual characteristics of the male. And finally, inhibin. The hormone inhibin is produced by cells in the testes that are responsible for monitoring the health and maturation of sperm.
Are the organs that produce fame, gains of oxides and Bernini sites according to the cavity and age. Unlike the testicles, are located in the abdominal cavity. The process of formation of the ovules or fem schemes is called oogenesis and carried out cavities and follicles whose walls are covered with cells that protect and nourish the ovule. Each follicle contains a single ovule which matures approximately every 28 days. Oogenesis is period unlike spermatosis which continues. The ovaries also produce estrogen and progesterone hormones that regulate the development of secreted sexual characteristics, such as permanence of hair for the development of the breasts and prepare the body for possible pregnancy. Fallopian tubes. Ducts between 10 to 13 centimeters that contain ovaries to uterus. In mammals inside, present occurs as the zygote divides. It travels through the tubes to the uterus. Rarely, the embryo may develop one of the tubes, resulting in the ectopic pregnancy. The opening of the tube to the uterus is called tubal ostium. Uterus hollow and muscular organ in which the fetus will develop. The inner wall in the uterus, the abdominal room, which presents cycle menstrual change related to the effects of hormones produced in the ovary estrogen. Vagina, in the channel that communicates of the outside physical content through which sperm enter. Its function is receive to the penis during intercourse or sexual intercourse, release of baby during delivery, and also remove the egg in the form of the blood. The fem product system consists of the ovaries, which produce fem oogenesis or gametes, the uterus, which house of developing fetus, produce vaginal and uterine secretions, and moves the same to the fallopian tubes. These parts are internal. The vagina is the channel that communicates with the external audience in the vulva, which includes the genital lips. The female reproductive system consists of the ovaries, which produce fem oogenesis or gametes, the uterus, which house the developing fetus, produce vaginal uterus sections and moves the semen of the fallopian tubes. These parts are internal. The vagina and channel that communicates with the external organs in the vulva, which includes the genital lips.
The ovarian and uterine cycles. The ovarian cycle is divided into three parts: the follicular phase, ovulation, and the luteal phase. During the follicular phase, FSH, released by the anterior pituitary gland, stimulates the development of a follicle in one of the ovaries. While the follicle matures, oogenesis starts and the epithelial cells of the follicle multiply and secretes female hormones. As estrogen levels rise, negative feedback stops and the secretion of FSH, so that the follicular phase comes to an end. The estrogen spike causes the secretion of the GnRH from the hypothalamus, which in turn causes a surge of LH from the anterior pituitary gland, resulting in ovulation on about day 13 or 28-day cycle. Ovulation is the release of the secondary oocyte from the follicle and into the oviduct. After ovulation, the luteal phase begins. During the luteal phase, LH promotes the development of the corpus luteum, which consists of the follicle cells left behind after ovulation. The corpus luteum secretes female sex hormones, mainly progesterone. The uterine cycle. The female hormones estrogen and progesterone produced by the ovaries during the ovarian cycle affect the endometrium, causing the uterus to undergo the cyclic changes known as the uterine cycle. Uterine cycle is divided in 3 parts: menstruation, proliferative phase, and the secretory phase. First part, menstruation, lasts from day 1 to about day 5 and consists of the breakdown of the endometrium with blood passing out of the vagina. The low levels of the female sex hormones causes menstruation to occur. The proliferative phase is from day 6 to 13 and consists of the build-up of the endometrium, which becomes more vascular and glandular. The proliferative phase is caused by the increased production of estrogen by the new developing follicle. And the last phase, the secretory phase, that is from day 15 to 28 and consists of the endometrium doubling or tripling in thickness and uterine glands producing a thick mucus secretion. The secretion of progesterone by the corpus luteum causes the secretory phase. The endometrium is not prepared to receive a developing embryo. If fertilization and implantation do not occur, the corpus luteum will degenerate, resulting in lower levels of the sex hormones that will lead to the breakdown of the endometrium and menstruation.
There are many kinds of birth control methods. For example, abstinence is not doing any kind of sexual stuff with other person, protects from STDs. Vasectomy blocks or cuts each vas deferens tube, keeping sperm out of your semen. Tubal ligation blocks your fallopian tubes. Male condom, it is placed on the penis, stops sperm from getting into the vagina, also protects from STDs. Female condom, cover the inside of the vagina and protects from STDs.